I'm glad I looked up, guys, because I don't know how much of the show I would have actually did with no audio. Boy, it's always something. So let's start this from the top. Mic check 1, mic check 2. If you are watching this live stream back on the replay, all right, skip ahead to the start of the show. Take advantage of the chapters because I'm still setting up and giving people some time to tune in. And now you can hear me unlike before. Man, I'm telling you, it's always something. We got 3 minutes to showtime, guys. We got the social stream ninja going. Let me double check that again. Okay, so we can hear that when you guys send in a message. Let's go ahead and share the stream over on Facebook. Oh my gosh. Always something. So tonight, we didn't have the audio on. So if not somebody watched the live stream back on the replay, they're gonna be like, I can't hear him. Show can't hear me. But we got it fixed. So let's go ahead and share the stream over on Facebook. And we got 2 minutes to showtime, guys. 2 minutes to showtime. 2 minutes to showtime. Let's share this stream over on Facebook, and then we can get to it. I'm just shaking my head at myself, guys, because I was like, yeah, we're about to start on time tonight. We're about to start at 10:55. As soon as I was about to push record, my wife back there yelling, the kids yelling. I'm like, hey, I'm about to start recording, and I ain't even got my mic on. Luckily, I looked up and saw that nothing was coming through. Just stick around. You'll see all types of crazy stuff over here on this live stream. We are live. Okay, we are live. Share that on Facebook. Let's see this go. Come on, give me my, there we go. Confirmation. So we good there. Let's go ahead and pull the charts up. So I had that ready. Got an awesome show ready for you guys. Hope you had an awesome day in the markets, and I hope you had an awesome day in life. I'm so glad that football season has started, and man, it is comical right now. It's comical with some of this stuff that's going on. All right, we got 1 minute, guys. 1 minute, and we shall start. We got like up. All of that's good. We pull up the right controls. Yeah, we good. We just waiting on 11. We just waiting on 11 o'clock, guys. Here it is. Time to go. We good, guys. Let's go ahead and get it going. Welcome to Market Recap Live. I'm your host, Joseph Martin, and thank God. Oh, thank God, guys. It's Monday. It is Monday, and tonight we are taking a look at ticker ADI. You might know them better as Analog Devices. Analog Devices Incorporated was founded in 1965 by Ray Stata and Matthew Lorber, who were MIT classmates, with his first office opening in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Now, they're publicly traded on the NASDAQ and have a market value over $100 billion. Yes, that's B, billion dollars. Analog Devices are in the semiconductors and semiconductor equipment industry in the information technology sector, and they are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some of Analog Devices peers are Texas Instruments, ticker TXN, Microchip Technology, ticker MCHP, and NXP Semiconductors, ticker NXPI. We're going to review Analog Devices' upcoming earnings, visit their website, and pull up the charts to perform a quick technical analysis. But before we do that, let's do our roll call and check our stream poll. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube, FB for Facebook, and an X for X. While you guys are filling up the stream and the chat, here's the mission statement. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of the financial situation by learning how to unlock the wealth building power of the stock market. And we are streaming Monday through Friday following trading sessions at 11 p.m. Eastern time. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. And there's a link for the New York Stock Exchange calendar down in the description. Okay, let's get to it, guys. Earnings highlights. So let's get it. Bam, 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 and bam. Guys, we good. We are good. So let's go ahead and get it started. Here we go. Analog Devices Incorporated, ticker symbol ADI, the $190.1 billion company, is reporting its third quarter 2026 earnings on Wednesday, August 19th. They have a 52-week high of $445.91, which took place on June 22nd, and a 52-week low of $223.47 that occurred on November 7th, which is a trading range of $222.44. And they closed today at $390.28. Analog Devices is expected to report $3.9 billion in revenue on the top line, with an expected adjusted EPS of $3.33, which would be 7.77% higher than the $3.09 they reported their previous quarter. The earnings will be released before the market open, followed by a 10 a.m. Eastern time conference call. As far as guidance, management expects adjusted EPS between $3.15 and $3.45 for the third quarter of fiscal 2026. That 52-week low compared to today's closing of $390.28 represents an increase of 74.65% over a span of approximately 9.5 months. So if someone invested $1,000 in November at that 52-week low of $223.47, they would be seeing a gain of $746.45. Woo, we did that. All right, now let's move on, guys. Let's move on. So bam, bam, and bam. All right, researching the company. Let's talk about why we visit these company websites. We're looking at the visuals and text to find answers to these key questions. What goods and or services does the company sell? How important are those goods and services to their customers? What makes this company stand out from the competition? And how well do they take care of their employees? Where we look for those answers in four main areas. The homepage for the goods and or services, about us for purpose, vision, values, and mission statements, careers for employee benefits and opportunities, and investor relations for stock quotes, charts, and financial reports. And for your convenience, all companies featured in tonight's live stream are down in the description. Now, let's go visit Analog Devices website. Let's go check that out. So, bam. We're good there. Let's put their ticker up and we are good. Let's blow this up. That's not all. We're not taking advantage of our screen space, guys. All right, we got it now. We got it now. All right, so let me browse over the top real quick. So I'm seeing, adjust this. Give me 1 second, take me off the screen. Be back in a second. All right, so what I'm seeing here, guys, I see about us right here at the top. We have a drop down. So we got investor relations, about us, careers is right here. So everything we need, guys, is right there at the top. So let me put me back on the screen. So we're going to browse over the home page and then we will start clicking on those locations. And this looks like it's going to be moving while I'm trying to read it. So let's go back to the first one. Okay. Engineering better energy storage. Okay. What's the next one? Inside efficient battery balancing, empowering the clean energy grid. Get to know us. Together with our customers, we co-create solutions across aerospace, automotive, communications, consumer, energy, industrial automation, and healthcare. So those are a lot of different sectors that they're involved in. And they listed here as well. Explore our solutions gallery, aero and defense, automotive, consumer, data center, energy, healthcare, industrial, instrumentation, smart buildings, and wireless comms. Got it. Featured resources, newsroom, engineer zone, analog dialogue. Okay, so down here at the bottom of the website, we have who we are, careers, investor relations. Okay, so I'm seeing an extra selection right here. Let's go ahead and see what who we are does for us. Let's go there. All right. And this is about us, it looks like as well. Let me check to see if this is the same thing, guys. Thank gosh, yes. So they just got two names for the same thing. All right, so about us. Ahead of what's possible. Analog Devices Incorporated, ADI, empowers the intelligent edge with the most innovative analog, digital, and software solutions, accelerating breakthroughs that benefit society and the planet. Got it. Who we are. Our customers are at the center of our identity, and we are endlessly committed to their success. Remember, links to this website and the websites we're featuring tonight are down in the description for your convenience if you want to read a little deeper. We're just trying to do a quick little overview. Empowering the intelligent edge. Our solutions help customers transform raw data into actionable insights and make connected devices smarter and more responsive. The history of ADI, a company dedicated to solving the toughest problems, to enabling the most amazing discoveries, to intelligently bridging the physical and digital worlds with technologies that sense, measure, and connect. ADI at a glance. So here are some stats about the company. I'm going to speed up a little bit. Not going to read all of that. Our market performance. So this looks like some investor information, right? Fiscal quarter four. Okay. ADI's hybrid manufacturing and supply chain network. So it looks like this is the global map. This looks kind of hard to read, but I get it. It's a map showing you different things. ADI's internal sites, foundries, and external assembly and test locations. And then they have the actual locations listed down here at the bottom. Quality and reliability, our commitment to people and planet. Innovate. Okay. All right. Yeah, keep exploring. It's a lot of different stuff here, guys. All right, so we went over that. That was about us. Let's go ahead and go to careers. Let's find out about these benefits. How well do they take care of employees? Let's see what we can find. Explore careers. At Analog Devices, developing our people is as important as serving our customers. Together, we stay ahead of what's possible. So search for jobs, software opportunities, field application, engineer opportunities, artificial intelligence opportunities. Here are some awards and recognitions that the company has received. Make an impact, shape the future. Looks like they have all different types of stuff here, even videos. Remember, links to the websites are down in the description for your convenience. Hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps the community grow and reach more people. Okay, so ADI has been instrumental in so this is like a testimony. Join global community. Showing the map again. Guys, I ain't seen nothing about benefits. I'm browsing over it again. Life at Analog. This might be it because we've been seeing that they put it under Life at after mentioning the company. So let's browse over this real quick and see if we can find the benefits. Your potential is our potential. Grow, explore, and expand your skills at ADI. Careers home, why Analog Devices, Life at Analog Devices. Let me browse and see if I see exactly where it mentions, hey, this is benefits. Like that's what it needs to say. Yeah, guys. Okay, benefits we offer. Thank gosh. Yeah, guys, it seemed like they moved it to where it says Life at, like whatever the name of the company is. And that's what I've been mentioning to you guys as we've been looking at these websites. So it doesn't look like they go into deep details about it. So I'll read this first sentence, and then it looks like there's a hyperlink and it's dated for 2023 benefits at a glance. And we in 2026, so I don't know what's going on with that. But benefits we offer. Analog Devices is proud to support our employees through their most important life moments with benefits programs that address their physical, mental, and financial well-being. Got it. Guys, links to this website are down in the description for your convenience. So here's what I was talking about with the 2023 benefits at a glance. Link. I'll click on it for kicks and giggles. Yeah, guys, that looks like that's going to be a lot of reading. Where does it tell you how many pages it is? It's taking a while to load. I'm not going to go through all of this, so let's just close that out. And let's go ahead and go to investor relations. So take me off the screen. Here we go. Investor relations. Blow this up, zoom in, 1, 2, got it, put me back on the screen. All right. So I'm looking at the top. Here's stock info. Great. So everything we need is going to be right here, but let's go ahead and browse over this page, and then we'll go ahead and click on the stock information. So investor relations, here's some stats about the company. This is a lot of different stuff here about ADI, events and presentations, investor news, contact us, stock information. So it's repetitive, guys. This is the same stuff we can click at the top of the page. Investor highlights, news reports, events, and related links. So let's go ahead and go up to the top. Stock info, stock data. So here we go. Here's the stock quote. Here's the stock chart that has not loaded up yet. And we not new to that. That happens often when we go to these websites. They outsource that information, guys. So sometimes it's delayed, and there we go. So we have that, and they do have other tools under stock info, dividend history, stock price lookup, and other tools for investors on their website. But let's go ahead and move on and talk about analog devices, clients, and partners. All right. So Analog Devices does have clients and partners that are listed in the S&P 500. Some notable names include Apple Incorporated, ticker AAPL, Tesla Incorporated, ticker TSLA, and Cisco Systems Incorporated, ticker CSCO. All right, now let's talk about mobile limitations. All right. So before we look at the charts, remember professionals trade from a computer, okay, not a mobile device. Mobile trading apps are limited and don't have all the features that are available on full trading platforms. Now let's look at analog devices on the charts. Okay, let's go. Give me a second. I'm gonna be on the screen in 1 second. Give me 1 second. Here I am. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. We're about to go ahead and go over this chart. Now, we have analog devices pulled up on the chart. Let's put their ticker on the screen. That'll help, won't it? So we have them pulled up in our symbol box. We are looking at a 1-year daily chart. They have a 52-week low of $223.47. Here's their 52-week high of $445.91. And they closed today at $390.28. Now what we're about to do, we're about to go ahead and look at a higher time frame. Oh, this looks a mess. So let me go ahead and fix this, guys. Put me back on the screen while I fix it. So let's go ahead and reload our pro market close so everything can line back up where it's supposed to. All right, let's pull up the company again. ADI. And now we can go to the higher time frame. There we go. All right, take me back off the screen. All right, guys, so we still have ADI pulled up in our symbol box. Now we're looking at a 10-year weekly chart, and let's confirm that we have 10 years worth of data. There's 2016 tucked behind their 10-year low of $59.01, and here's their 10-year high of $445.91. Okay, and while we're here, it looks like all of the levels that we need, guys, are going to be within this year. Okay, they're going to be within this year because the price action is all the way up here. So what we're going to get from this 10-year weekly chart, we're going to go ahead and get our 9-week simple moving average. That's going to be $382.66, and our 200-week simple moving average is at $231.66. All right. So we don't need to do anything else on this higher time frame. We can go right back down here to our 1-year daily chart and go ahead and get started. Now, I'm going to jump around a little bit on this because one of the first things that I seen that stood out to me was this low right here. This low on this wick. Okay. And the reason why is this previous gap. So this gap has been filled. So that is the high of April 22nd and the low of April 23rd. So we're going to take this. It was filled, so we don't need that to be yellow. We can make that dark gray. It's just a previous gap that's been filled, but it looks like the price action is responding to it. So we're going to take that out to January 1st, 2027. That was one of the first things that stood out to me. So now that we have it highlighted, you can see what I mean. It was holding as support here. Matter of fact, we're going to use a box. It was holding as support here. The bottom end of that range was tested here. It was tested here. Like, that gap is significant right now. This wick came all the way down and touched the bottom of it. Look at this. Look at how much trading is within that range. Even now it's within that range of that previous gap. So that stood out to me. Okay, so let's take that off, and now let's put our price levels there for that previous gap so we can see what those price levels are. Okay, so I'm going to use my price level tool. There's the low, there's the high of the previous gap. Okay, so the high of that gap is $395.80. The low of that gap is $383.60. And right now it's trading within that range. So if it gets above it, I'm going to see that as support. And if it gets below it, I'm going to see it as resistance. And right now it's still trading above the 9-day simple moving average that's coming in at $384.38. And our 200-day simple moving average is $338.97. It's also up here on our label. So I would see this as support if it came all the way down here. And then we can also see that the 200-day simple moving average is also making its way through a previous gap. Okay, we had a gap right here. So that was April 7th high and April 8th low. We're going to extend this over to January 1st of 2027. That's just the month that we're using for right now. And it looked like it was slightly filled with the low of this candle on April 15th. We're not going to worry about that because it hasn't been filled the majority, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But we can see the 200-day simple moving average making its way through that previous gap. So let me go ahead and put the price levels there. So here's the low of that gap coming in at $327.41. Here's the high end of that gap coming in at $341.98. Now I'm going to use these crosshairs to look over to the left to see how significant that level was, because it seems like the stock was able to find support around that area. So that's at $353.04. So when we look back to our left, we can also see that it was resistance for a few days right up in here. Same thing here, resistance and support previously. So I'm liking that price level right there as potential support because it's recently been tested. Okay. Now, as far as resistance, if it makes it up out of this range, and this is another one of those situations, guys, where it seems like this stock gaps a lot. So what I'm noticing from these gaps, you need to check, like look to see how many other candles have open highs, lows, and closes and bodies within those previous gaps. That's going to make it more significant than just saying, oh, it's a gap and this is what should happen here. But so this gap is important because it hasn't been filled yet. Let me undo what I just did. Put everything back. There we go. I just need to erase this part. So here's what I mean. This recent gap right here has not been filled yet. So let's change that, put that, identify what that gap is. So right here. So let's identify this gap. So that was the low of June 25th. And the high of June 26th. So let's extend that over. Let's hide these for a moment. Extend this over to January 1st, 2027. There we go. And let's get some price levels here. So here's the low end of that gap. Bam. Here's the high end of that gap. Bam, bam. So 406 and 412. And space that out. So I would see that as potential resistance if it's able to get out of this zone that is in right now. Okay. And then you have another. That's not a gap. That's not a gap. But that is a significant level that is seem like it's having a hard time getting above. So if I put a price level here, when we're looking at the crosshairs, these wicks weren't able to close above it. These 2 days closed above that price level as well as this one. But these days we're having a hard time staying above that price level of $431.87. So I'm seeing that as resistance before we get up here to that 52-week high again. Okay. So guys, I think that's good enough for our technicals on ADI. All right, if I do say so myself, we did pretty good. We good with that. Now what we can do, we can go ahead and get our stock quote and take off some of these drawings because that's a lot going on. So let's just delete all of that and let's go ahead and zoom in because we have our price levels. Go ahead and zoom in on a recent price action. Make this a little bit bigger and we can go ahead and get our stock quote, guys, for analog devices. All right, so we have that. Let's go up here to the settings and then we can talk about the volume as well in a moment. So go up to the settings, cut on our floating a data box and mouse over today's candle right here. So advanced, I'm telling myself not to say advanced, but analog devices open today at $391.54. They had a high of $396.95. They had a low of $389.75, and they closed today at $390.28, which was a trading range of $7.20. Now let's talk about the volume, guys. Today's volume, they traded 3.1 million shares of this stock today. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? We are about to find out. So let's go ahead to go to our settings, cut our floating data box off, and let's go ahead and take me off the screen. And we're going to go right here. Here's our label for our average trading volume in a daily trading session. Guys, they usually trade 3.9 million, almost 4 million shares in a daily trading session. And today, they did closer to 3 million, coming in at 3.1. So that's this candle right here, right there. Okay. And it looks like based on these day candles, the trend is sideways right now, guys, within this range. Okay. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I know we moving backwards. We're going back to some technicals, but it's something that just came to me. If we look at this range that it's in, it's consolidation to me. It's brief because we're looking at day candles and not weeks. But after this, it's going to eventually pop up to the upside or down to the downside. So that's what we're looking at there. And it looks like it was consolidating here, but it made a continuation after changing trend to sideways to continue down. Okay. So let me erase that and let's go back to this volume. So take me off the screen right here, guys. This was Friday's volume right here. This was half, 2.1 million on this green candle right here. So that's half of the average volume. If we round in the average volume off to 4 and rounding Friday's volume off to 2, that's how I'm getting at. Okay, so let's put me back on the screen and let's talk about the volume percentile. Okay, so right here, volume percentile. Out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume was higher or only higher than 32.5% of those 252 trading days. So to be exact, only 82 of those days had lower volume than today. All right, so that's what we have there. Was it anything else I wanted to cover about this? No, guys, I think we're good. I think we're good. We got our levels. We did our volume. We look at our volume percentile. Yeah, we're good. All right, so we can move on. We can move on. So let's go ahead and go here, here, here. Yeah, take that down. All right, let's move on. All right. Community support, guys. Back to the community. I would appreciate it very much if you guys share the stream, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you wish to send a monetary gift to support the content, Cash App and PayPal links are down in the description as well as on the ticker on the screen. Okay. Now, normally we do the sponsorship, but here's the problem. I don't have that phone with me right now, guys. So if you gave the sponsorship tonight, it would be greatly appreciated, but I won't even know that you sent it. And so we're not doing it tonight. I'm not saying don't send nothing. I'm saying we're not doing the sponsorship to give you a shout out because I don't have that phone to confirm it. Okay. So that's not being removed from the show. I just don't have what I need to do it. Okay. So that's what we're doing there. Now let's talk about the S&P 500 index. Okay. Let's look and see what the S&P 500 index did today by using the SPY ETF. The This ETF gives investors an opportunity to participate in the broader U.S. market by allowing them to own a percentage of each company in the S&P 500 index. Let's go back to the charts. So here we go. Bam, 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 and the SPY. Got it. So what we're going to do, we need to put the SPY right up in here in our symbol box, SPY. There we go. Ooh, Friday, we almost made a new 52-week high. So let's go ahead and start breaking this down. So guys, we have the SPY typed in on our symbol box. We have a 1-year daily chart pulled up on the chart. The SPY has a 52-week low of $629.28. And the SPY has a 52-week high of $779.37, and they closed today at $772.67. Now we can see that they're still trading right now. Now they're trading around $770. But let's go ahead and go to the higher time frame so we can get our simple moving averages and look and see what the 10-year highs and lows were. So let's go ahead and go to a 10-year weekly chart. So here we go, confirming that SPY on a 10-year weekly chart. Take me off the screen. So here is 2016, confirmed we have the 10 years. Here's the SPY 10-year low of $208.38. Here's their 10-year high of $779.37, which is also our current 52-week high. All right. So while we're on this higher time frame, let's get our 9-week simple moving average coming in at $753.36. And here is our 200-week simple moving average coming in at $553.96, guys. All right. So we have that. Now let's go back down to our 1-year daily chart. 1-year daily chart. That's what we have there. So let's go ahead and zoom in on the current price action so we can see how the SPY is acting right now. What's going on? Guys, we just talked about this on Friday. And I don't mean just the SPY, but we were talking about on Friday how the SPY seems to be liking trading between these ranges right now, right? So it peaked out for 2 days. So it's in, to me, it's trading within this zone right now, even though it peaked out for those 2 days. So here's Thursday and Friday of last week. This is the new 52-week high that happened on Thursday of last week. As it's been trading sideways, because I'm seeing the trend moving sideways right now. So these two candles right here, this candle on August 4th and August 5th, this is a dark cloud cover pattern. That's bearish. So after the stock started trending up, it formed a bearish pattern. That's a dark cloud cover. Once it did that, it's called a reversal pattern. Reversal doesn't mean up to down. Reversal means the trend is likely to change. So there's 3 different trends. So when that reversal signal came, the trend didn't change from up to down. It changed from up to sideways. All right. So now that it's trading sideways, trending sideways, we hit that new 52-week high, but it's coming back down in that sideways trend. And what I was talking about, the more it was trading sideways or trending sideways, this 9-day simple moving average, this dotted green line, was going to start making its way up closer to these candles. And that's exactly what we're dealing with right now. And this is why I like using the 9 and the 200s and the 200 simple moving averages as support. So let's talk about what those price levels are for the simple moving averages, and then I'll explain what I'm talking about there. All right, so the 9-day simple moving average is at $772.73. The 200-day simple moving average is at $705.88. So I like using those simple moving averages to help me see support and resistance. And we can see clear as day that as soon as that 9-day simple moving average made it up there, it used it as support today. That's where it closed at. So the actual closing price for today is right here, $772.67. That's just below the 9-day simple moving average. So that could be seen as a bearish sign because it closed below that 9-day simple moving average. And right now it's trading below that price on the simple moving average, because right now it's trading around 770. Okay, so that's what we have there. And that's another I need to read my book again. So let me explain to you what's going on. The trend has to be a clear uptrend in order for this to be a dark cloud cover, but you can see it again. You can see the red body above the green body on this candle here, but the trend is sideways to me. So that wouldn't just be a dark cloud cover because the trend is sideways. It needs to be at the top of a uptrend, but I just need to confirm that. That's why I said I need to read my book again. But as far as right now, guys, to me, this is trending sideways. So let's go ahead and get our stock quote for the SPY. I want to erase some of this stuff. All right, so we got some of that. Let's go ahead and open up our floating data box and get this quote. And then we'll talk about the volume and get ready to wrap this up. It moved it anyway. We might as well just delete everything. It moved it anyway. All right, so the SPY opened today at $776.18. It had a high of $776.78, had a low of $772.51, and it closed today at $772.67. Guys, it almost closed at the low. Yeah. So the trading range today, guys, was $4.26. Now let's talk about the volume. So today, the SPY, I'm laughing because I'm tired of talking about this right here, but I'll fill you in. The volume, the trading volume for the SPY today was 34 million shares of this ETF was traded today. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? We about to go ahead and find out. And I'm laughing because I already know. That's why I'm laughing, but I'm gonna fill you in. So let's take the floating data box off, take me off the screen. Here's the thing, guys, right over here. The average trading volume for the SPY in a daily trading session is 70.5 million shares. At these price levels, guys, it's trading in the 30 millions. Okay, so today, 34.3 million. Friday, 31.3 million. Now, let me show you something. I'm going to cut the floating data box back on. And we're going to mouse over these candles and we're going to just look at the volume so you can see what I'm talking about. Like recently, it's been trading the majority of the time 30 million shares, 30 plus something million shares, somewhere in that range between 30 and 40 million. So today, 34 million. Friday, 31 million. Thursday, 35 million. Wednesday of last week, 33 million. 36 million on Tuesday. Monday, 39 million. It's not hitting that average trading volume. Now, what's the time frame I'm using on the average trading volume? I'm glad you asked. 252 trading days. So it's a nice amount of data to determine what the average trading volume is. It's using a whole trading year worth of data. And it's just trading well below that average. And it's actually pulling the average down. It's trading in the 30 millions. Okay, so that's what we have there. Now we can cut the floating data box back off and we can talk about the volume percentile. So now when we come over here, I can be on the screen. Right over here, guys, this is what I mean by showing you how low this is. So here's the volume percentile. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume is only higher than 2.8% of those trading days volumes. To be exact, only 7 days out of those 252 trading days, the most recent, only 7 of those days have lower volume than today. That's just how low this volume is, guys. Crazy. All right. So that's what we have with the SPY, guys. We covered that. We did a good job. We can move on. So let's go ahead and go here. Bam, 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 and bam. Yeah. Favorite part of the show. Sector performance tracker. Time to follow the money. Let's look at each sector inside the S&P 500 index to see how they performed today. All right. Let's go back to the charts and let's start doing that. And I'm going to pull the ticker up for that now, or the label for that now. So what we're going to do, we're going to go right here to our grids and I'm going to change this to sector performance. Bam. I'm going to pull our notes up. Let me put me back on the screen, guys, because I need to pull up our notes, make sure I have them ready to go. I do. Let me go ahead and adjust this and I'll bring you guys back over. I'm going to hide this ribbon. Show tabs only. Yeah, we're good here. Move this over a little bit. Move this over a little bit. You can see me do this, just that way you won't be bored. Here you go. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm just moving this over so we have our notes ready to go. There we go. And we can minimize this and we can go over it. All right, guys. So we're looking at the percentage change for the SPY and all of the sectors. We're about to go through those right now. So the SPY is down 0.5% today. Energy is up 1.1%. Materials is down 0.6%. Industrials is down 0.1%. Consumer discretionary is down 1.2%. Consumer staples is down 1.6%. Healthcare is down 0.2%. Financials is down 1%. Technology, information technology is up 0.2%. Communication services is down 1.9%. Utilities is down 0.3%. And real estate is down 1%. Okay. So if you want to get the exact numbers, or at least add some decimals to it, not decimal, but decimal places, you'll see what I'm saying. We rounded it off 1 decimal place. But if we look up here, you get 2 decimal places now. So instead of it being 1.1, it's more specific. So energy is up 1.08%. That's what I mean. It's more specific up there. Now you have that list and it's in descending order. So we have our top 3 gainers at the top and our top 3 losers at the bottom. Okay, so let's pull up our notes and let's go through it, guys. Let's go through it in our notes. So here we go. So our top 3 gainers for today, guys, our number 1 gainer is energy. Okay, energy. And they closed the day up 1.08%. Then we have information technology, our number 2 gainer, coming in at 0.16%. Now, here's the crazy thing, guys. Our 3rd biggest gainer actually lost because it's the top 3. And they closed the day down 0.1%. Okay. And that's going to be industrials, XLI right there, industrials. Now, our top 3 losers for today, we have communication services down 1.9% to be specific. Let's change this order so we can do it this way. Communication services down 1.89%. Consumer staples, our number 2 loser, down 1.64%. And consumer discretionary, our 3rd biggest loser today, is down 1.23%. All right. So that's what our notes are for the sectors starting this week. Now we can go here and let's talk about this. Now let's look at the S&P 500 biggest gainer and loser of the day. But first, we're going to look at the loser so we can end the night on a high note. OK, so let's go ahead and go back to the charts. Put that up. Take that. Yeah, we're good here. All right. So let's change this to pro market closed. Then we're going to go over here to our market watch tab, but I'm going to take the chart down because I don't want to spoil it for you. Let me get everything set up, make sure everything's good. I'm glad I did because this is not, it's not what we're supposed to have, but we got it in auto. We got it in auto. All right, let's go ahead and pull up the chart. So here we go, guys. The biggest loser for today in the S&P 500 is Reddit Incorporated. Guys, they lost 7.63% today. Their previous close was $178.09. Today, they closed at $164.50. Now, let's pull up our calculator and do a hypothetical. So let's say somebody invested $3,500, and they lost that 7.63%. So we're going to negate that, turn into a decimal. Guys, they would have lost $267.05 of their $3,500 investment or principal. Add that to it. Guys, they would have been left with $3,232.95. All right, so we have that. Let's take this off. Let's select Reddit. And now we're going to go over to our Analyze tab. And we can see that Reddit is in the communication services, and Reddit has recently been added to the S&P 500. Okay, they've recently been added to it, and they got beat down today. End up being the biggest loser. Like they spiked up on the news that they were going to be added to the S&P 500, and then boom, they get added and lose over 7% today. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this. So Reddit is in the communication services sector. So we're going to look to see how that sector performed, the industry performed, and the sub-industry performed that Reddit is inside of. So let's go ahead and go to the Market Watch tab. Then we go to the Visualize sub tab, and we can take me off the screen. And we're going to look for communication services. Guys, this sector looked beat. This sector got beat down today. And we looked at that in our notes. They were the #1 loser today as far as a sector anyway. Remember our notes. So I'll pull our notes up to confirm that. We can see it over there in the list as well. That's not the right thing. Here are our notes right here. #1 loser. And another way for us to do this, we can just select it. So if we go here and we go to communication services, we highlighted it right there. #1 loser for today. All right. So let's collapse that. And now we are looking for Reddit. Where's Reddit? Where is Reddit? Guys, if their market cap is small, it's going to be hard to find them. So let me hit this drop down and let's start looking through these different industries. So we have diversified telecom services. It's not in there. Entertainment. It's not in there. Interactive media services. Is this it down here? Yes. You see how small that market cap is? It's so small, you can't even see their ticker symbols, guys. It's all the way down here. You see it? Man, they got a small market cap. So anyway, this industry that they're inside of is the interactive media and services. And there's there's 2 companies. You got Google, Meta, and Reddit. Everybody read. All right, now let's look for, and the sub industry is the same, guys. Interactive media and services is the industry and the sub industry. But communication services were beat down today. So we saw how they perform. Let's go ahead and go back to the Analyze tab. So let's go over the company profile before we visit Reddit's website. So here's the official company name, Reddit Incorporated. Here's a link to their website. It's also down in the description for your convenience. And let's read a little bit about the company and then we'll visit the website. So Reddit Incorporated operates a digital community in the United States and internationally. Got it. And I believe. So let's go ahead and put me back on the screen. Take this down. Go to their website. Bam. I believe that's everything, guys. So let's look to see where we need to go. So if we look under company, we got about. We're going there. We got careers and we got investors, and they have their values in a separate section, clear as day. But so far, so good. So let's browse over this home page and then we can start looking into those things. So Reddit, the heart of the internet. Reddit is home to thousands of communities, endless conversation, and authentic human connection. Whether you're into breaking news, sports, TV fan theories, or a never-ending stream of the internet's cutest animals, there's a community on Reddit for you. How does Reddit work? Every day, millions of people around the world post, vote, and comment in communities organized around their interests. Okay. Post. The community can share content by posting stories, links, images, and videos. Comment. The community comments on posts. Vote. Comments and posts can be voted or downvoted. Reddit by the numbers. So here's some stats about the company. Over 100,000 active communities. I know I'm reading it from the middle. Over 130 million daily active uniques. Over 26 billion posts and comments. And over 514 million weekly active uniques. Reddit news. View more blog posts. Okay, so now we're down here at the bottom. We have careers, investors. Guys, let's go back to company. All right, so we're going to go to about, and then we're going to go to values. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to about. This looks like the same thing, guys. This looks like the home page. That's not, so the about page is the home page. So let's go ahead and go to our values. All right, here we go. Something different. Empowering communities. Our mission. So we found the mission. Our mission is to empower communities and make their knowledge accessible to everyone. Our values capture the idealism within Reddit that both we and our users love. Remember the human. We believe Reddit is the most human place on the internet. Start with community. Reddit succeeds when our communities succeed. Keep it Reddit real. Reddit is where people can be genuine. Privacy is a right. Reddit stands for privacy. Believe in good. Reddit reflects humanity. Resources, transparency, privacy, Reddit for good. Terms and policies, Reddit help center. Got it. All right, I'm ready to go to careers. Let's see if we can find out something about these benefits and things like that, how well they take care of employees. We already looked at values. Okay, join the conversation. At Reddit, you'll help build something that encourages millions around the world to think more. Got it. Do more, learn more, feel more, and maybe even laugh more. View job openings. What would Snoo do? Values describe who we are and who we want to be. Reddit's mission first. It bears repeating. Our mission is to empower community. We already read that. Make something people love, evolve, add value, default open, employee benefits. Thank you. Here we go. Employee benefits. Reddit is all about diving into your passions and interests. Our benefits are flexible, putting your wellness needs first so we can build a vibrant culture where we work and thrive together. Here's what you can expect. Comprehensive health benefits, flexible vacation, and Reddit global days off. Guys, I'll be reading all day, but there you go. That's 6 things right there. And remember, links to the website are down in the description for your convenience. Hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Greatly would appreciate it. It means a lot. See what our employees are saying. All right, we're not going to go through all that. Employee resource groups. We have the benefits, guys. So I'm just going to browse over this, work at Reddit. So this looks like the different departments within the company. And that's a lot of different departments. That's cool. All right, now we're going to go to investors. I just clicked it. There we go. So let's zoom in. 150. All right, so right here at the top, we have the stock info. So as usual, we're going to browse over the page and then we're going to click on the stock info. Reddit investor relations. We talked about the mission. We talked about that. All right, news releases, investor events, quarterly results, Reddit by the numbers. We read those. Reddit community, we're at the bottom. So go ahead and go to stock info. Here are some tools they have available for investors online. We're going to go to stock quote. So here's the stock quote. Here's the stock chart. And here are some other tools they have available on their website. Wonderful. Now let's go ahead and go here. Bam. And we can leave that up. All right. Now, Reddit Incorporated, ticker RDDT. When it comes to their goods and services, guys, they manage social, community, and digital media platforms across the online advertising, data licensing, and user discussion markets, offering solutions such as, number 1, complete digital advertising options, including promoted posts and video ads for brand marketers. Number 2, scalable data licensing products, including API access, search data, and developer tools for tech enterprises. And number 3, optimized community platform systems tailored for user engagement, content moderation, and audience discovery. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include Alphabet Incorporated, ticker GOOGL, Microsoft Corporation, ticker MSFT, and Amazon.com Incorporated, ticker AMZN. Now, let's look at Reddit on the charts. So here we go. Bam, bam, bam. We're good. So let's go up to the charts, guys. Here we go. Oh, they look real nasty. Looks nasty to the downside, but we about to go over it. So let's go right up here, guys. Reddit in the symbol box. We are looking at a 1-year daily chart. Reddit has a 52-week high of $282.95, 52-week low of $119.27, and they closed today at $164.50. Now we're about to go ahead and go to a higher time frame. So let's go to our 10-year weekly chart. And let me make sure, okay, guys, you can clearly see this doesn't go back 10 years. So we have 2024 here. So it looks like it's about 3 years. We have, 3. All right, so they have a 3-year low of $37.35, 3-year high of $282.95, which is also our current 52-week high. That's what I wanted to confirm. All right, now, based on this historical data, guys, we do have some price levels here we could look at on this time frame. Before we get started with that, let me go ahead and point this out to you. Guys, there's not enough bars here. Okay, bars is candles, the data that represent the time frame that we're looking at. We don't have enough to get the 200 simple day moving average. So that means this is less than 200 bars. Here's a way to confirm that, or let me just show you. So if we go right here, we use this tool called trend line. I'm gonna let it pop up. There you go, trend line. So we're gonna connect the first bar or the first candle, and we're gonna connect it to the most recent bar or candle. So there you go. You see it says 882 days, but it's only 127 bars. So that's not enough bars. If that was more than 200, then we would start to see the simple moving average start to form. So I just wanted to point that out to you. So that's why we don't have that moving average line. All right. Put me back on the screen. But we do have the 9-day simple moving average, and it starts to form once you get to the 10th bar. Okay. Starts to form. So that's what we have there. Now, let's start looking at these levels, guys. It pulled down here. Yeah, I'm liking that level right there, guys. So let's go ahead and mark that. So I'm seeing support at $120.50 on the longer time frame. This looks like a double top right here, but I'm looking to see. Yeah, I'm liking that. So that's $207. Now, the reason why I'm liking that, when we look at when we look at that price level line at the weekly bars, weekly candles, looking over to our left, we can see that this held it as support. It was held as resistance here, support here, resistance here on that actual week there. And here's another double top. $263.33. Notice I'm not using the 52-week high or the 3-year high. I'm not using that one. I'm looking at the close on this candle, the wick on this candle. I like to look at multiple candles responding to a price level with the most significant areas of that candle, which would be the high, open, low, and close. So that's what I'm on the higher time frame. I believe that's good enough. I believe that's good enough, but I'm seeing one more, guys. This one right here. Okay. And you can see that you have a lot of weeks that could not get above that price level. That's a few weeks. And when it did get above it, it closed below it that same week right over here. Then you have it hold that support here. You see, yeah, I'm liking that a lot. So that's 180. That's $180.36. So those are the price levels I'm getting on a higher time frame, in my perspective, my opinion. So now we can go ahead and go back down to the 1-year daily chart. And now we can see how that looks. You see? So we have, it was respected right here as resistance with that $263.33. We see that. Then we have it respected here as resistance at 207. So we working our way down from the higher time frame. Here's that 180, guys. It was recently tested. Notice what else is right there at that same level. The 200-day simple moving average. Now we have enough bars when it comes to the days, because now we're not looking at weeks. So we got enough. So let's talk about that now. Our 9-day simple moving average is at $159.66. Our 200-day simple moving average is at $177.62. And that's also near that area of resistance at $180.36. Okay. And we had this gap that happened. We got a few gaps that happened over here. It did. I didn't want it to zoom in like this, but it actually worked out and did a good job. So Reddit has had a few gaps. It had a gap down here, and then it had a gap down here, and then it had a recent gap up. So let's highlight the most recent gaps. Okay. So that is the low of July 30th, and that is the high of July 31st. Now this gap has been filled, guys, but I'm still going to put it on here so we can just keep an eye on how the price action is responding to that previous gap. Okay. So let's extend this out to January 1st. Change this color because this gap has been filled. And that's what we have there. Let's go ahead and get these price levels. So that's the low of the gap, and that's the high of the gap. See how we have a lot of these candle bodies inside that previous gap? And even today's candle opened right on that 200-day simple moving average. Remember how I was telling you I like using the 200 and the 9 because it seemed to respond to it. It caught it as resistance, and then it sold off or declined. Yeah, sell off, decline today, down back into that previous gap, almost right there in the middle of that previous gap. And then we had the gap up. So the gap up started to be filled today. So the low of that gap was from August 13th to the low of August 14th. So we got the low of August 14th and the high of August 13th, and that was that previous gap. I'm going to extend that over to the same time frame that we was talking about, okay? So this is going to be rectangle 2. Extend this over to January 1st. There we go. All right. And notice how the bottom of that gap, you got the 9-day simple moving average right there at the bottom of that gap, guys. Now, it didn't come all the way down to test that, but you know something that I'm seeing? Look at this. Look at these previous highs right here. It came close to these candles right here. They had a hard time getting above this price level of $163.24. So remember, previous resistance turns to support. So that's close to where it came down to today. So there's a lot of different technicals happening right here within the zone, guys. I just want to point that out to you. So we'll be all day pointing out everything, but we went from the higher time frame coming down to where we are now and looking at the most recent gaps because we would go crazy getting all of them. There's a gap here. There's a gap. And I'm just going to put them there so you can see what I'm saying. There's a gap here. I know I seen another one. There's a gap here. So there's a gap here. So that's why I'm focusing on the recent gaps, okay? I'm focusing on the recent ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove these. Remove. You couldn't see it because I'm blocking it. Here's the other gap I was talking about. I'll put it back before I finish removing everything. Here's the other gap that I have pointed out. There's a gap there and there's a gap there. Okay. So I'm gonna start removing them. Remove. So we'll go crazy if we was looking at every gap saying, okay, well, it's here, it's here, it's here. I like to use the crosshairs. So when I use the crosshairs, I can eyeball it to see how the other candles are responding to it or the other bars are responding to it before I just pick a gap and say, okay, this is support and resistance. No, I'm looking to see what's actually responding to it first before I say this is a significant gap. And then usually the ones that are the most recent are going to be more significant, not meaning that the other ones won't be, but you need to look for confirmation for other bars or candles that responded to those levels to see it as support or resistance, okay? So that's what we have there. We talked about the 200-day simple moving average. We talked about the 9. We did our technicals. What we didn't do was our stock quote and our volume. So let's go ahead and go to our settings and cut on our floating data box, and let's get the stock quote for today on Reddit. So Reddit opened today at $177.51. They had a high of $178.34. They had a low of $164.18. And they closed today at $164.50, which was a trading range of $14.16. Now, when we look at the trading volume, guys, they traded 37.8 million shares of the stock today. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? We're about to find out. So here we go. Go to settings, cut off the floating data box, take me off the screen. And here we go. The average trading volume for Reddit in a daily trading session, guys, is 5.4 million shares in a daily trading session. Today, guys, they did 37.8. So they did 7 times what they normally do in a daily trading session today. That was significant, guys. Significant volume. And then when they had this gap up, so here's Friday's candle. I'm dragging the chart. This green candle right here, that's Friday. Here's the volume for Friday. They traded 21.5 million. So that was 4 times what they normally do on Friday. Then they turn around and they did 7 times what they normally do today. And that's this big red candle right here. Oh, we did have some volume come in, didn't it? They sure did. All right, now let's put me back on the screen. And now let's talk about the volume percentile. Ooh, man, they knocked it out the park. The volume percentile, guys. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, today's volume was higher than all of them. Today's volume was higher than all of them. That's why I say 100%. None of those 252 trading days had higher volume than today, guys. That's what that means. The volume was banging today on Reddit. That's what we got. And it was a sell-off, selling to the downside. And it found some support somewhere up in there, like in the middle of that zone around that 163.24. And we were looking at the previous price action over here to the left. I think that was from the higher time frame. Oh, no. We took it from right here. We took it from the resistance right here on these daily candles. They weren't able to close above that price level. The gap skipped over all of that. So basically we have a gap fill happening. So if it's going to find support, I think, my personal opinion, I think it's going to come all the way back down to the 9. But if it finds support, it can find support on the 163.24. You know, it's all subjective. Somebody else might think something different. And it could not do what I think. So we're just trying to do the best we can. But that's what we have with Reddit. So we can go ahead and move on, guys. We can go ahead and move on. So let's go ahead and, yeah, move on, like I said. So here we go. Let's go back to the Market Watch tab. Let's take this back all this up for the heat map. Go over to our quotes sub tab, put this in descending order. Guys, the biggest gainer for today is Sandisk Corporation. Again. Again. I'm tired of talking about Sandisk, to be honest with you. But they did it again. So Sandisk gained 8.88% today. The previous close was $1,641.11. They closed today at $1,786.85. And we'll talk about them when we get on, of course, when we talk about them. I might as well see it. Last time I seen what they were trading at after hours. Oh, we can see it now. It's actually coming down. Guys, it looked like it's selling off after hours. But we'll talk about that in a minute, because I had seen it was over $1,800. But let's do our hypothetical. I done got sidetracked looking around. Let me pull my calculator up and let's do this. We're using $3,500, right? Yeah, we're using $3,500. So $3,500. If somebody invested $3,500, come on. 35. My number not locked, not on. There we go. $3,500. And they got that 8.88% gain. So we hit that. They would have gained $310.80 on top of their principal. So we add the $3,500 back to it. The total investment would have grown to $3,810.80, guys. That's what we have going on there. Bada boom, bada bing. So let's go ahead and minimize that, clear this off, select Sandisk, and now we go over to the Analyze tab. And we can see the Sandisk is in the information technology sector. So we're going to see how that sector perform, the industry perform, and the sub-industry perform. And I believe we already looked at the sector. Did we? What was the other company that we looked at? It was a few companies, man. Yeah, we did, because we looked at ADI. I believe we looked at ADI. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go ahead and go to Market Watch, then Market Watch tab. Then we go to the Visualize sub tab. Take me off the screen. Here we go. Here's information technology. Yes, we did look here because ADI is over here. Okay, so we're in the information technology sector, and Sandisk is in the technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals industry. The sub industry is the same thing. Guys, there's more red than green here. There was only 3 companies that showed up green today in this in particular industry and sub industry. Okay, so just to point that out to you again, right over here on the left. So here is the industry, here's the sub industry, and here is the sector information technology right here. All right. And if we wanted to check to see how many companies were green or advancing, we could do this. Just change the heat map, the index watch. Then you pull up a watch list that only has the S&P 500 sectors companies in it from right here. The information technology sector, you pull that in there and then you can see. So you got 26 companies that's advancing, and then you have 48 companies that's declining. Here are all the tickers that's inside that sector right now. There's 74 of them. So that's how we broke that down. So let's go ahead and go back to the Analyze tab, and we're going to look at the company profile. So before we go to their website, here's the official name of the company, Sandisk Corporation. Here's their website link. Links to their website is also down in the description for your convenience. Let's read a little bit about the company and go to the website. Sandisk Corporation develops, manufactures, and sells data storage devices and solutions using NAND flash technology in the United States, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, Asia, and internationally. Got it. Got it. Got it. Put me back on the screen. Take that down. Go to their website. And there we go. Got a little drone flying up on there. All right, guys, we went over this website so many times. I believe I memorized it by heart, but let's go ahead and go over it. Let's go over it again. Sandisk, guys, they sell memory, flash disks, all hard drives, you name it. Power your adventure. Capture more, store more, and stay ready with up to 2 terabytes of high-speed storage. Choose compatible cards with confidence. Create from anywhere, bring your entire game library, boost performance with the right SSD. Small drive, big upgrade. Okay, a new platform for AI storage, featured content. You can browse through this. Remember, links to the website are down in the description for your convenience. Take me off of the screen. Here we go, guys. About us, we're gonna go there. Investors, we're gonna go there. And here's careers, we're gonna go there. Let's go to About Us, then we'll go to careers next. I said it out of order because I said it based off of how the list was, but anyway, About Us. So here's a video that's playing. About Us. At Sandisk, we keep people and businesses moving forward with inspired innovations to actualize their potential. Who we are. Our vast portfolio of flash products enables a seamless and simplified world of resilient data expression and storage. Got it. Our principles: innovation, sustainability, collaboration and community, responsible leadership, innovation, propel progress. New era of NAND, the AI data cycle. Got it. Sustainability, invest in tomorrow. Powering people starts with protecting the planet. We are dedicated to responsible practices across the full scope of our supply chain, continually striving to go above and beyond to preserve and care for the world. We all share through ambitious sustainability goals shaping our business in service of tomorrow. Collaboration and community, build together, build better together. We create belonging with everything we do. Got it. Responsible leadership, guide the way. So here are the executive leaders of the company, and here are the board of directors. I think I see some new faces. Okay, so we did that. Now let's go to careers. Bam. And we're going to get to these benefits. How well do they take care of the employees? Join Team Sandisk. Inspire and innovate 1 pixel at a time. Got it. Meet Sandisk. Students and grads. Benefits. There they go, guys. We'll come back there in a second. Our teams: finance, strategy, technology, engineering, global operations, people and experience, legal and compliance, sales, and marketing. How we hire. I love when companies break this down and prepare the candidate before they apply for the job. So they break down the hiring process, okay? Join the team. Find the perfect role. We got it. Now, let's go back up to the benefits. Went up too fast. Here it is. Learn more. Guys, here it is. Helping you thrive. Holistic support keeps every part of your life running. There we go, guys. Healthcare, lifestyle, and well-being, financial benefits. Take me off the screen. So there you go, guys. There you go. Remember, links to this website are also down in the description for your convenience. Hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. It helps the community out tremendously and is greatly appreciated. I didn't mean to take that down so quick. But anyway, there we go. All right, now let's go to investors. Right here at the top, guys. That's where we need the drop down for the stock information. So we're going to look at that. We can put me back on the screen after we browse over this page, okay? Investor Relations, Sandisk details growth strategy and long-term financial model at 2026 Investor Day. Our mission, I believe we read that. No, I don't remember. Okay, so inspiration and innovation in motion. Sandisk delivers innovative flash solutions and advanced memory technologies that meet people and businesses at the intersection of their aspirations and the moment, enabling them to keep moving and pushing possibility forward. Here's some stats about the company: news releases, latest presentations, events, quick links. And we can also go to stock information from right down here, guys. SEC filings. Now, remember, links to this website are down in the description for your convenience. Here's the stock quote, and here's the stock chart. And it's delayed, guys, like we talked about before. So I'll chat to you a little bit while it loads. Hopefully, it won't take forever. But they also have historic price lookup, investment calculator, and advanced analyst coverage. There's the chart. All right, now let's go ahead and go here and talk about other things about the company, some of the research. So Sandisk Corporation, ticker SNDK. When it comes to their goods and services, guys, they manage flash memory solutions across the consumer, enterprise, and industrial markets, offering solutions such as, number one, complete removable storage options, including SD cards and USB drives for retail customers. Number two, scalable solid state storage products, including internal SSDs, portable SSDs, and flash modules for device manufacturers. And number three, optimized embedded flash systems tailored for mobile devices, automotive systems, and connected technology. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include Apple Incorporated, ticker AAPL, Microsoft Corporation, ticker MSFT, and Dell Technologies Incorporated, ticker DELL. Now, let's look at Sandisk on the charts for the 100,000th times that we have featured them on the channel. All right, so we got more technicals than a little bit, but if this is your first time, buckle up your seatbelt. Here we go. So we go to the charts. See what I'm talking about? We got this marked up. We got this marked up. But let's go ahead and get it, guys. Let's get it. All right, so we got Sandisk pulled up on the charts. We are looking at a 1 year daily chart, guys. 1 year daily chart. They have a 52-week low of $43.20. Oh my gosh, can you imagine $43 going all the way up to $2,354.39, which is also their current 52-week high. They closed today at $1,786.85. We'll come back to this and talk about this in a second. But let's go ahead and go to the higher time frame. So now we're looking at a 10-year weekly chart. Notice we do not have a full 10 years. It's about 2 years, guys. It only goes back to 2025. Here is their 2-year low of $27.89 and their 2-year high of $2,354.39, which is also the current 52-week high. And as we talked about before, you need to have enough bars in order to get the 200-week simple moving average. And you can see that we do not have that. Okay, we do not have it, but we do have a 9-week simple moving average. So our 9-week simple moving average is at $1,599.78. 200-week simple moving average is not available. Okay, so we have enough technicals going on here to go ahead and get started, guys. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So let's go ahead and go back down to the 1 year daily chart and let's get started. My eyes are big because we got a bunch of stuff on here now. Here was their recent earnings with an adjusted EPS of $39.25. Look how high it's going as far as like the earnings. So you had an adjusted EPS of $6.20, then that following quarter, $23.41, and now it's almost $40. Crazy. So stock just going nuts, right? So now what we're about to do, we're about to go ahead and zoom in and focus on the most recent price action because we already have a bunch of levels on here, guys. So just bear with me. We're going to do our best because I don't know how we're going to, figure out what we really gonna respond to or what's significant or not because of how many times this doggone stock then popped up. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on here, guys. I know it is. And trying to keep the price action within the screen, like you see as I'm spacing it out, some of these price levels are so close because of previous gaps and things like that that's been filled. It's just a mess. But these are the levels that we've been looking at. So Let's go ahead and get started. Let's just go ahead and go. This is where we are now, of course. So this is today's candle. We have a gap up. So let's identify that. Let's just keep it simple. Let's just work our way backwards. So the first thing we'll do, let's go ahead and identify this gap. Now, being as so we already have more price levels than a little bit, guys, I'm not going to put this price level here. I'm just identifying a gap. So let's expand this over to January 1st. So we have that. Before I click OK, you can see the low of the gap at $1,667.19 and the high of the gap at $1,698. I'm not going to put the price level there. So I just showed it to you, just seen it. So there's our gap that happened recently between Friday and today. Now it gapped above that area of resistance we had at $1,682. We were seeing that as resistance here. It closed just below it. I don't remember where we got it from, guys. I don't know if we got that from the higher time frame or what, because like I said, we done looked at this so many times. Ain't no telling when we put it on there and why we put it there, but it's there. Okay. Now, once it got back above this 9-day simple moving average, let's give you that. So the 9-day simple moving average is at $1,403.40, or 200-day simple moving average is at $911.29. So we have that. Now, the next level of resistance is at $1,895. I paused because I was thinking about something, and I'll show you. Like, what was you thinking about? I'll show you. So if we go right here, we can see that that is trading, guys. It's trading. It's still active. It's highly active after hours. So earlier today, I saw that Sandisk was trading above $1,800. Now, I don't know how high it went, but that caught my attention that we have an area of resistance at $1,895. So what we're going to do, we're going to go look at that time frame to be able to see how it's trading in extended hours. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over to our 5-day minute chart. So here's that information right here. 5-day minute chart is jumping around like crazy. So the extended hours high, oh, it hit, well, not hit, but it reached $1,827.99 during today's trading session. Let me zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. That is not what we need to use. We're going right here. Let's zoom in. So bam. Okay. So this was during today's trading session. Here's the high that it reached. But I had seen that it was trading over. It closed down here. So we closed at the 1786.85. So I didn't know, because I wasn't watching it during the regular trading hours, to know that it had already went back above 1800 during the normal trading session. But I did see in extended hours that it was trading above the $1,800. Then it came all the way back down here and almost tested that gap that we identified. So during extended hours, it's filled that gap, but not during regular hours. We can see that looking at this now. And if you can't see the extended hours on your chart, you go up here to the settings box, go to equities, and make sure this box is selected right here where it says show extended hour trading session. Okay. So that's that. Now let's go back to our 1-year daily chart. We're about to get our stock quote. I just need to see. I want to see what's going on here. Yeah, so our next area of resistance that I'm seeing based on what we have at the charts, guys, is $1,895. If it comes back down, I'm looking for it to find support at that 1682. It was when it was trading down here that we had a whole bunch of levels going on, guys, because you can see how bunched up that is. The supports and resistance are spaced out a lot better above this 1682. Let me go down above 1546.09. Once it gets below that, we just bunched up like crazy. That's where we are with that. So at least you see it. You got it. Now let's go ahead and move on and get our stock quote for Sandisk. All right. Let's get our stock quote for Sandisk. So go up to settings, come on my floating data box, mouse over today's candle. So here we go, guys. Sandisk opened today at $1,700.75. They had a high of $1,827.99. Guys, I usually don't read it like that, so I'm gonna say it one more time. Sandisk opened today at $1,700.75. They had a high of $1,827.99. They had a low of $1,698, and they closed today at $1,786.85, which was a trading range of $129.99. Now, the trading volume, guys, they traded 18 million shares of this stock today. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? We're about to find out. So let's cut off the floating data box. Take me off the screen. And we can delete that up there at the top. And right here, guys, the average trading volume for Sandisk in a daily trading session is 13.6 million shares. Today, they traded 18. So that's definitely above average. And that was when it was moving to the upside. Okay. And it could have been a short squeeze. It could have been, because this looks bearish. So this would have been the beginning of the forming of an evening star pattern, because it's starting to trend back up. But it closed near the top. So it could have been subjective, but it was right at that area of potential resistance. But today, when it opened above resistance, that would have been able to tell somebody looking at technicals, hey, I'm wrong. But if it had opened today below the body of that previous candle on Friday, then that would have been bearish. It could have been a bearish confirmation. But opening above it, especially above that high, was bullish confirmation. Like, hey, I might be wrong. I need to get out of this trade. Okay. So that's that. Now, looking at Friday's volume, guys, they traded 21 million shares on Friday. So that was this red candle right here. That's Friday's candle. There's the volume for it. Trading 21 million. You can't see it. I hope I ain't have myself on the screen the whole time. Let me go over this volume. So here's today's volume, guys, right here. 18 million. Here's the average trading volume, 13.6 million. Average trading volume, 13.6 million. I believe I had took myself off the screen. But just to go over it again, that's that. Here's today's candle. So we covered all of that. We talked about the bullish bearish confirmation, how you're looking at the candles and how that looked, and being a short squeeze. So if people jumped ahead of the trade thinking, okay, this looks bearish, and then he tried to take it to the downside, some of the buying pressure that happened today could have been shorts closing their positions. And they had to buy to close their position, and it could have pushed the stock up today. That's what I was saying. All right, now put me back on the screen. Take me back off the screen. I'm going crazy. Here we go. Now we can talk about the volume percentile, guys. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, today's volume on this candle was higher than 75.8% of those trading days volumes. To be exact, only 61 of those days had higher volume than today. Okay. So that's what we have for Sandisk, guys. That's what we have for Sandisk. And guess what? We done. We are done, guys. So we can go here, 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 here. Bam. Yeah, we can wrap this up. We can wrap this up. All right. You already know. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This Sunday, August 23rd at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we're reviewing this week's biggest gainers and losers, market sentiment, market volatility, S&P 500 sector performance, and creating a watch list for upcoming earnings. And make sure you keep tuning in weekdays following a market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Take care and God bless.